Hey guys, Cold here. Welcome back to another Rachel Legends video. We just learned about another head of the Hydra boss that will be coming hopefully before the end of the year. The Hydra boss, a clan boss encounter, from what I understand, is going to be another really tough encounter for endgame players. I'm not sure if it's going to be available for newer players as well. We haven't tested anything yet. Who knows? But until that time, we'll be learning about the skills that the heads do. So I made a video 2 days ago about the 3 heads of Hydra boss and what each of them does, summarizing on possible ways to actually be beating this boss. So this other head that's been released today is possibly the final head. We still don't know exactly because they didn't specify if this is going to be the 4th and final one. There were some leaks in terms of pictures about having 4 heads to beat. So like this picture right here in my video that I posted the other day. And that was really it. We don't have any other information, but this is it. This is the head of Wrath, guys. We'll go over the skills and think of how we're actually going to be beating this this head down. So A1, knowing Jaws attacks all enemies, plays a decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. Very strong. A1 decreased attack is very strong debuff to have in a team where possibly many debuffs will be immune, because I looked at the passive here below. This head will be immune to pretty much all debuffs except HP burn and bombs, and plus we'll be taking a limited amount of damage through the HP burn and War Master, Giant Slayer, and stuff like that. So I don't know how we will be able to be beating these heads. That's the A1. Decreased attack, passive effect: each enemy hit received increase the vengeance counter by 1. We don't know what vengeance is. Whenever the vengeance counter reaches 15, place a vengeance buff. I don't know what the buff does. A block debuffs buff and a 15% reflect damage buff on this head for 1 turn, then attacks all enemies. Lots of buffs, it seems. I don't know if we can remove these buffs, by the way. So if we can remove them, then maybe champions that remove buffs are going to be strong in this kind of an encounter. The vengeance counter resets every time it reaches 15. Enemy hits will not be counted while under a vengeance buff. Also, by the way, okay, let's just see the whole thing. It seems that the vengeance counter will be very strong in terms of once you reach that point, the boss will get that buff. Probably vengeance is something like a counterattack. Who knows? The block debuffs buff and reflect damage will be annoying, but they're not that annoying, I guess, since the block debuffs buff will be there to just block anything else that the boss is not immune yet. Decapitation effect inflicts damage to all heads whenever this head is decapitated. If this head is decapitated while under a vengeance buff, the damage inflicted to all heads increases. Doesn't say by how much, and there is a 25% chance of placing a leech debuff on all heads for 2 turns. 25% seems very low. It should have been like 100. I don't know. The leech seems like a way to go in terms of healing, but it would have been helpful to have leech on every one of the other 4 heads. Okay, A2, Furious Roar attacks all enemies, plays a provoke debuff for 1 turn. Also places a 50% increased attack buff on this head for 3 turns. Seems pretty strong. Provoke plus increased attack plus decreased attack on yourselves through the A1. This boss looks like a nightmare, guys. Almighty Wrath, decreased damage all Hydra heads take from AoE attacks by 10%. Damage from max HP skills cannot exceed 10%. HP burn limited to 20,000. War Master, Giant Slayer, reflected damage limited to 50,000 per attack. Very limiting boss, immune to stun, free sleep, all of that stuff, plus poisons and petrification, block active skills, block passive skills. Okay, I think this is the first one of the heads that seems to be immune to block passive skills, which is the Romantu thing. I'm curious about that, about the Romantu thing, and using Romantu for this specific boss encounter. I guess we'll have to see when the actual counter is live, because these might be subject to change when this is actually live. These might be cool to see here on paper, but remember, they might be changing stuff before the actual release, and it seems to be like an insane encounter by what we know so far. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll let you guys know if we have more information about other heads possibly and other parts of this encounter. So far we know 4 of the heads: head of Wrath, head of Torment, head of Suffering, and head of what was the other one? Mischief. That's it. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.